Hey guys, in this time of quarantine, I found myself scouring Reverb and eBay way too much. Picking up a couple little things here or there, nothing crazy, just things to facilitate some more content, more videos, maybe get a little more out of some of the guitars. I got a couple of cool pedals I want to show you first and talk about. There'll be demos of those coming soon, which is really, really nice. And then we'll get into some parts that we're going to tinker with, try to just get a little extra 5% out of these guitars. So if you follow any of my pedal board builds, you know that I'm a big fan of these old MJM germanium fuzzes. This is a big box style, and I've never seen one in black before until I saw this one. I purchased it, and then I saw a couple more pop up. That always seems to happen. This is a really cool NKT germanium fuzz. So I just picked up its counterpart. This is 2005, I believe. Maybe it's a 95 or 2005. I'm not sure. I'll know more when I open it up. It's got the LED. It is a germanium NKT. Nice transistors that I like, similar to these. But I just wanted to A/B them and see if I hear a difference in the fuzz builds. Not being that the box is smaller and the box is bigger, but just build quality. Transistors, maybe this one may have a little more gain. This one maybe have a little more gain. You don't really know. But it'd just be a cool thing to A/B. Also new, we have the Midnight Vibe from Weaver Effects. Rick Weaver built the Violet Vibe for me and made a really, really great pedal out of it. And he kind of had thrown out some ideas about maybe building something with a couple of more functions. This one obviously has a foot switch for chorus and vibrato instead of that dip switch. Really, really great for a live situation. When you're playing, you can just change in between the two settings. It is a true bypass. Great speed knob. I will say that the intensity on here is pretty strong. You can really, really get a good kick to that vibe feeling. And, you know, the black, flat black coloring is really, really something. I have an all black pedal board, and I just think this looks really cool, really slick, all black, solid design, made in the USA by a good dude. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to dialing in some Hendrix tones with this one, too. All right, so let's get into the guitars we're going to modify. The 1960 Jazzmaster, as you can see, has its original patent pending tailpiece back on, its original bridge, and this thing, I spoke about this not too long ago. It really took to a higher gauge of strings. I put an 11 to 48 set on here, and this guitar just came alive. Now, you remember I did refret this guitar, and it's been a lot of fun. Great, cool tones, unique tones, a variance of a Strat that's got some Gibson qualities. It's been inspiring. I do have a set of original pickup covers and knobs that I'm bidding on. Hopefully I can win those. That'll be fun. But I did pick up this piece right here. This is from a mom and pop company called True Custom Shop. Really, really great, good constructive piece. This is called a Buzz Stop. And what this will basically do is mount to these two top holes here on the tailpiece. And the strings will get fed under there, sort of like that rear piece on a Bigsby. And it'll just allow the break angle to be a little stronger on the bridge itself. Now, I know some people have said that it's caused them to break strings, and some people say they're great. I'll be able to find out for myself. It was cheap enough. It's a $20 part. I figured I'd grab it and just test it out. Like I said, I was able to retain the original tailpiece on this and the original bridge. So getting this guitar back to how it was in 1960, fully functional, you know, just it's like basically adding a custom bracket to get this thing to just stop buzzing. That would be great. Mastery bridge setup, the Mastery tailpiece and bridge assembly was cool. It tuned in quite well. So, I mean, I think I'm just going to sell that because I want to just try to get these guitars, like I usually do with all of them, back to how they left the factory. Minus, obviously, the pot leaf refin paint job. More on this guitar later on. I know we had talked about refinishing it, but this guitar has just been a lot of fun, and I'm thinking it may just stay the way it is and be a hippie killer. It's a beater, but it's a lot of fun. So that's what we got planned for the Jazzmaster coming up. So keeping it rolling, we got the Trini Lopez, the 67 Trini Lopez. I've been having a lot of fun with this guitar. It's really been responding to pickup height adjustments. I did find myself bringing the neck down a little bit, and the bridge, I just cracked it up quite a bit. I thought about maybe flipping the neck pickup magnet and getting that out of phase thing in the middle position, but I didn't really want to bust into there and try to modify it just yet. Maybe if something pushes me over the edge, I will. I don't want to touch any of the electronics. So in my head, I wanted to get a cool Albert King tone out of it. Maybe flipping the magnet would have been cool to kind of get that out of phase position in the middle, because when you just back one of the volume knobs down, it'll go back to in phase in a way. You guys, let me know in the comments what you think. If you would want to see this magnet flipped around and kind of mess with those Albert King tones, that may be a lot of fun. And also this, when I first did a video on this guitar, this had the nylon bridge saddles that I talked about. I was talking to my buddy Dante, and he suggested just try a Faber bridge, you know, on there and see, get the right one, the right fit, and see what it'll do. See if you hear a night and day difference, if it's something worth doing. And being bored, being stuck in the house, being in quarantine, you know, I have to tinker and I can't leave it alone. So got in touch with the folks at Faber. We have the Faber 3024 nickel bridge, and we're kind of just going to do a quick swap on that when the time comes. Swap that bridge in, and we're just really looking for the difference between the nylon saddles here and the steel saddles here. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, like I said in the comments, let me know if you guys would want to hear this guitar out of phase at some point. I would try to keep it as, you know, less invasive as possible. Just flip the magnet around, and if I'm not happy, I can just reheat the cover, flip that magnet back proper, and we'll be back to original. But it's something to try. I mean, as long as I don't damage the pickup, I can kind of have some fun with that and get some cool out of phase tones. Recently, I've been working on the Greco Firebird. Now, this is somewhat of a sleeper guitar. You still get a mahogany neck-through body, okay, nitro paint. And this guitar is extremely well constructed. The only downfall to these guitars sometimes is the electronics. These came with 300K pots. I swapped them off for 500K with a nice NOS Black Beauty capacitor. And I happened to have this second Faber bridge in the parts drawer. I threw that on. The guitar picked up some great sustain and clarity. So much clarity that it became a little bright. So in the last week's video with this guitar, I tried to change the volume pot out maybe to a 250K and see if that tamed some of the brightness. And I did that live while you guys were watching. Did it work? Somewhat, but not so much. Then I started researching these mini humbucker pickups. You may be thinking, well, it's not really a mini humbucker because the mini humbuckers had pole pieces. On the Les Paul Customs, the late 60s, yes, they did. And that sent me down another rabbit hole. I got in touch with my friends over at Vintage Correct Parts, and they had this really sweet, beautiful condition, true Les Paul Custom mini humbucker in stock. Now let me talk a little bit about this. Right away, I had to take some measurements because, yes, this pickup does not look like this one pictured. But if you look at the string spacing, obviously that's going to mate up to what's going on here. That will work for us. And the only real measurement you need to worry about is the mounting holes. It'll center itself, and this will be the closest form of a true humbucker in the bridge without routing the guitar or altering it in any way. I'm not afraid to alter it because it's a cheap enough guitar, but I kind of want to retain the mystique and the look of what I have going, and just maybe swap this slug in, take that one out. And I may have to go back to the 500K tone pot because, as you know, internet lore will tell you that humbuckers with 250Ks, they can get a little bit muddy. So we'll see what this does, but this is an upcoming project that I'm super excited for. It's taking me all I can not to swap this over now because I really want to, but just, you know, this is a great item by these guys, and I can't thank them enough. Got your patent number sticker there and everything. This is a great piece, late 60s. Measures in at about 6.9K, which is nice and spiky for one of these. I'm excited. I'm hoping this gives this guitar a little more aggressiveness and kind of just curls off that tinny, bright tone. So that's a killer set of mods coming up for this guitar, and I can't wait to move forward with that. Also on the white Strat that I did a parts build for a couple weeks back, I did refret it over the weekend. We put some 57-110 Jescar non-stainless wire in here with this beautiful 61 bird's eye neck. Such a treat. And we got some old slugs in here, and I'm going to pretty much do a shootout with this guitar against my 59 Strat. See how close it is. I do like the white, and I am in search for an old 60s body. But if I don't find one, it's not the end of the world. I got a lashing guard on here. I got some Bourne's 250K pots. An old ceramic disc capacitor, a red dime, and just a three-way switch, a newer one, old bridge assembly. But yeah, I was thinking about doing an AB shootout with my 59 Strat and this one. The neck is similar, but a little more taller shoulder. Really, you can get a lot of vibration through this neck, and with the bigger frets on here, it really helped that. So that's what I've been doing, just trying to keep myself busy and making all these little projects for myself. This great bird's eye though. 61 neck. I appreciate all of the positive feedback, the comments, the interaction, the engagement, the suggestions when I ask for it. I mean, it really means a lot, you know? So one of the other things I was thinking about doing was maybe send me a picture of what your setup is at home, and maybe I can feature it at the end of a video, and I can do that on every video. If you guys are into that, send it. It doesn't have to be a vintage rig, but whatever's inspiring you and working, send me a picture of your rig all set up, and I'll tag your name at the bottom, your Instagram or something like that. So I can leave my email in the comments, and you guys could do that. That'd be really, really cool. Get some kind of interaction and some put a name to a face and all that, and we can really see, you know, you can geek out on everybody else's setup. That's a lot of the fun. I love to see people's pedal boards and people's amp setups and people's guitars, and you can start asking questions and get your brain working. So I think that'd be really cool. One other thing too is if you have your own music and you're an artist out there and you're trying to move your music around, if you don't mind, send me an MP3 or something to my email, and I'll feature you during the video and tag your band name, or, you know, your links to get some people connected with you and to check out your tunes. I just thank you guys so much. I hope you're interested in these projects coming forward like I am. And stay tuned, man. Leave me some suggestions down below. Let me know what you think. And I always appreciate your input. We'll talk soon.